To keep you safe, but when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your fate. I have a voice that is my savior. It's alive. What is up? What is up? What is up? We are live on a Sunday, and we are on episode 14 of the DJ and Heel Show. And we have a special co-host today in the main event hub. We're just waiting to get everyone in the spaces. We got Hub. Hub, you there? I don't got anyone. I don't hear anyone yet.
I'm good. Here. I'm ready. I'm good.
Oh, okay. I got DJ. What's up? What's up?
All right. So before this circle jerk gets started, I want to say, yesterday I won my match in the Trivia Mania tournament. So I am in the finals, but you can already crown me as champion because I'm facing Joseph for the second time. You know, first time I didn't get it, came back. Second time I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it 2 times, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it right this time, and I'm gonna win. So before I hit up out of here, because the jet has to go depart from wherever I'm at to somebody else's spot. I love y'all. From your Trivia Mania champion. The 1 time should have been 2 times, but you know what? I ain't gonna complain. So love y'all.
So he came in just to say that we handed him a win.
You didn't hand me anything, Brandon.
They did cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase.
You definitely
were cash in while motherfuckers was down.
You did it. You definitely got handed bonus points that you did not earn.
Well, it sucks to suck, Brandon. So I mean,
shout out to wrestling.
Shout out to all wrestling. Whether you fry it, bake it, or boil it, it's still a chicken, and I'm still the winner, regardless where I handed it or not. So,
and it's not
still your winner.
And you know what? It's not going to matter by the end of the day because there's going to be a third person in that finals. It's going to be me, and then I will take you out,
and I'm going to whoop your ass.
And then
I can't wait.
We'll see. We'll see who the real winner is and who the champion is.
Then I want to say, unlike the Jet in AEW, I didn't lose 2 times. Lost once, got my rebound, got the win.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens because I'm about to be prediction champion in EWS, and I'm about to send Jet crashing and burning in Trivia Mania.
Quick, Brandon, if you can't try resending the co-host request.
Let me send it to you again. Invite co-host. You're not showing up as for an option for a co-host. Do you hear me?
I'm out.
I don't know where he went.
I'm on mute. Oh, now he's gone.
Oh, now, okay, well, there's a send invite.
I want to start.
Oh, he popped in and popped out. Give him 1 second. Let's get him back in here. I don't know where he went to.
There we go.
There we go. Now he's a co-host. Now we get this party started. The following contest, our opening contest scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. And we're going to talk about... You want to talk about the OVW thing?
You became Leo's bitch this week?
Or are we going to
God.
Or do you want to talk about the Royce Keys rumor?
Let's start with Royce Keys, because I don't get how people are going from, oh, why isn't he being used to, hey, we have a plan for him in a somewhat marquee Mania match. Nah, not good enough.
I mean, DJ, where do you stand with this? Because you've been a proponent when it comes to Royce Keys.
Hub, you're going to hate me. I'm sorry, Hub, but I'm one of those motherfuckers. And I'm explaining to you why, though, in a logical sense, instead of just sounding like someone who's bitching on the internet. Okay? Now, they brought this man in Saudi. his debut was a popcorn fart. No one recognized him because no one in Saudi watches AEW. He didn't look that impressive. He just looked like another guy on the roster. Didn't do, if anything, much to stand out. Then we don't see him on television for about a month, even though he was on quote unquote main event. That's like saying you're on fucking Dark or Elevation. The reason I don't like it is because you can tell this isn't really a plan. This is just trying to find him a spot. Again, the Ray Phoenix argument Brandon always fucking gives me about how they brought him in, just threw him on the Mania, and then guess what happened? Got lost in the fucking shuffle. And Penta's now the IC champion. Like, goddamn, you couldn't do a Royce Keys versus Penta match for the IC title. Penta could pretty much have a match with anyone. I think he could have a good match with Royce Keys. It's something more surprising. It's something better you can do, and it doesn't look like it's straight up out the blue. Because you're obviously not doing Dom and Finn for the IC title. That's more of a blood feud type of thing. So why not do that for the IC title? Since Penta's just holding it for no reason, for no context. You can quote-unquote debut Royce Keys at WrestleMania, the big show, and give him an IC title match. If you want to keep it on Penta, keep it on Penta, fine. It'd be stupid to make Keys lose. But that's something better than, all right, let's just hope we can have the Bad Bunny effect again with Jelly Roll, which it's not. You're putting him in a mid-card, I wouldn't say complete comedy job match, but it's a fucking mid-card comedy match, or it's going to be, because no one's going to be taking it dead seriously that Jelly Roll is a fucking serious wrestler because he dropped 100 pounds. But that's at least my logical thoughts on it. I'm not just bitching the bitch. I'm bitching because there are better things you can do with him, and you're just not deciding to, but yet you got fucking plans for Danhausen the immediate moment you bring him the fuck in.
The hate-housen. The hate-housen you have for Danhausen.
I don't have hate. You're taking it the wrong way. I have no hate for Danhausen.
Yeah, because you can't get no Hohausens.
Exactly. I love the idea with him and the Hohausens. Like,
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Danhausen's doing the right thing. It's just, why the fuck is he getting more attention and a better push than a guy like Royce Keys?
First off, can we agree that Danhausen and Royce Keys are completely different animals altogether when it comes to as professional wrestlers? It's not like we're comparing, a Kenny Omega and a Will Ospreay, who are pretty similar. Royce and Danhausen are completely different animals.
The Machine Guns got a better push when they got brought the fuck in. Right. I don't want that. What's the Machine Guns doing now?
Well,
they're about to fight Fraxion next week on SmackDown.
They're working on something. They're building some sort of storyline, whether it's a heel turn or a split. But I want to stay on the Royce Keith thing, because what if this was the plan? Now, I've been saying that they've been keeping Royce. They've had him back since the Rumble, but they did the podcast. And they've been showing the clips, especially the clip talking about, Royce's brother and, who saved him and all that. And from what the rumors are, is that's going to be the connection with Jelly Roll, is the harsh upbringing and coming back from adversity. And those are specifically the clips they've been showing. So what if this has been the idea that they were going to properly introduce Royce with, and the fact that they're putting him in a celebrity match, a celebrity position that is going to give Royce a lot of eyes on him. They're trusting him because when you come with celebrities, you do come with a lot of mainstream media, and going down mainstream media and, hitting all the local radio stations and stuff. So to me, this is saying they are showing a lot of trust and putting a lot of faith in him.
How did it work out for the last guy they threw in there with the celebrity? What's he doing?
He ended up being a world champion.
No, what's he doing now? Don't try to circle around the fucking question.
It's not circling around. It's the truth.
Acting champion with our truth.
There you go, Jameer. You said the key word. He's fucking tag teaming with our.
Okay, but you're taking the context and you're making it like he teamed with Bad Bunny 2 months ago and now he's just doing tag team.
No, I'm saying
it's 3 years later.
It had no long-term effect on him as a character or as a person or him getting over. Just because he won the belt don't mean he got over. He actually had one of the worst title runs, I can honestly say, out of everyone in recent memory. Jey Uso's was fucking better than Damian Priest's. Like, come on now.
I wouldn't go that far. That's a stretch.
Let's not sit here and act like just because he's getting a celebrity match, this is gonna in the long game, this is gonna be the best things to Royce Keys. No,
I mean, first off, you can't.
More signs that he's fucked.
No, it's not.
Been in the next team.
First off, it's not signs that he's fucked. One, again, being put in a position at a WrestleMania with a celebrity is a prime spot that guys would not be on the show otherwise without that match.
Brandon, I would take you more seriously if you never made the Rey Fenix argument to me ever.
The Rey Fenix argument was not a celebrity spot. They didn't bring him in to be in a celebrity match.
This is a nothing match. Just because Jelly Roll's in it doesn't mean it's suddenly, oh my God, we all have to go see this match. It's, Jelly Roll's on the card.
I'm not saying the match is going to be, Dave Meltzer 5 stars, all that stuff, but to introduce...
And you're missing a huge point, too, as well. Like, yes, he's in a celebrity match, and a lot of those eyes are going to be on Jelly Roll and not him. You need to put him in the positions where this guy can stand out and show why he's different. Instead of just, we need to get him on the card, let's hope Jelly Roll can give him a bit of the rub, and we'll go from there. Because people are bitching about not seeing him, but yet we're getting Danhausen on every fucking show.
They could have not been watching Main Event then, because he's been on Main Event.
Again, that's like saying you watch Dark or Elevation for AEW. That's the niche of the niche for WWE fans. That's if you really are going to go out your way and watch anything WWE puts out there.
I hear what you're saying.
So it's like they're doing it all wrong with him. Again, like I know they shouldn't have brought him up to the main roster with Oba lurking, with Trick getting as over as he did, and Javon. He was gonna fall through the cracks either fucking way because he wasn't gonna get more pushed than those three. And he's a guy who should have been pushed and elevated. Ergo, why you should have put him in NXT, even if it was for temporary uses, so you don't just fucking expose him and doom him to fail before he's even started. They're working backwards now.
I still think it is a very good position to put him in, and I think you're sending him up the river before he's even had a chance to jump in. I feel like you've been doing that since
WWE
January.
That we would not give AEW.
AEW doesn't do these kind of things.
I'm pretty consistent on the shit I would let slide either way. I wouldn't let this slide if Tony did some dumb shit like this. I should have let it slide just because they're the industry leader.
But it's also the fact that they are the industry leader, and this is the Super Bowl of wrestling that he's getting this spot on. It's not like a Monday Night Raw, or a SmackDown.
Listen, we're going to be having a different debate. I'm sorry, didn't mean to step all over you. I'll shut up after this. We'll be having a different debate if All In gets as good numbers as this shit is. If All In gets better numbers than WrestleMania in terms of attendance this year, because the Mania attendance is drastically down and down enough to where AEW can fucking compete for a one-night fucking biggest crowd of the year type thing. If you get that over WrestleMania, that type of perception could fucking turn and be drastic. So
I don't think. It'll be the IWC. The sickos of the IWC. Waving their flags that they've accomplished something. But I don't think it's going to take. I don't think that one show is going to take away the optics of what WrestleMania has been for the last 40 years.
I mean, you got AJ Styles come right out and say WrestleMania has lost its luster a little bit.
Which is true because, there's no denying that. But it's still WrestleMania. At the end of the day, it's still
It is,
WrestleMania.
but it isn't at the same time. I don't think it's like one of those, and you're starting to see it now with a lot of people. I don't think it's one of those, I need a WrestleMania moment, this, that, and the other. It's mainly towards with guys that are like from Punk or guys who are already in WWE. They're like, okay, I want that Mania moment. You're not really, you got guys like Will Ospreay who openly passed on WWE. You had the Elite who openly passed on WWE. You have a bunch of guys and people that are coming up that are not interested in having quote unquote their WrestleMania moment.
It's because there's another option. Like you can all in to for all we try to rag in on AEW. There's two events that AEW puts on that does drastically well and does good for AEW every single time: Revolution and All In. And All In, especially since Wembley, has been a spectacle. Again, they got 80K, a quote unquote, apparently, or 70, whatever the fuck the number was, for the first time in Wembley. They got 48 to 50K last time. They might hover around the 40K range, but if Tony goes cop crazy, they could get more. So, like, and also with TKO and the WWE of old are two different beasts. The way TKO emphasizes almost every PLE the same, like the way they I think since WrestlePalooza was possibly, I want to say, promoted way better than this Mania. And even booked. It was booked way, in hindsight, it was booked way better than this Mania. Outside of the fucking Cena-Lesnar match, it did what it needed to do in hindsight. So that's just me, though. Sorry, Hub. I'm on DJ diatribe today.
I mean, that pretty much at this point, there's a lot of younger wrestlers that are more interested in potentially going to AEW or staying independent than going to WWE and risking it and just end up getting released, and then that's it for them pretty much. So like the lore of WrestleMania is not what it was. I would say probably even 5 years ago. It's just not there anymore. It's still a big event, still a massive event, still a global spectacular, but it's not like at least you're seeing from a lot of wrestlers, it's not that my goal is to get there like it was before. And I'll even go even after when AEW was around. It's disappeared probably since TKO's owned it. Probably since then, since Vince left, is probably when the WrestleMania lore died, and it's not really kind of saying, oh, Vince is the reason WrestleMania is what it was, and him leaving is what brought it down. I think it's more just the landscape of the business.
WrestleMania has become more corporate, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Advertising everywhere. You know, we're relying on superstars, and you haven't seen this many quote unquote stars in the audience since the Attitude Era. Like, you see these big ass celebrities coming to all these giant PLE events and stuff. WWE is the most corporate than it's ever been, even since when Vince took it public. Like, even then, because Vince always had the final word, it was still his baby. Even though they were a publicly traded company, Vince had all the shares, he had all the power, he had all the say. And there were certain things Vince wouldn't do that TKO is currently doing. So in terms of, I think that's why the perception of Mania has changed, is because they become more corporate. It's not about wrestling itself, it's about capitalizing on how much money they can milk out of this fucking cow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that, you know, especially over the last 3 years, since maybe 39, 40, maybe after 40, it's definitely become more corporate, more about the advertisers, more about, you know, how much money they can make. And we see that by the fact that they went back to Vegas and they shit on New Orleans this year. And they're suffering now with the ticket sales, and now they're dropping the ticket sales. They're definitely not going to get I think what did they get last year? I think 60 each night, something around there. And they're definitely not going to get that. They'll be lucky.
They got like 55. They quoted it every night to be 60, but it was like 55.
I think they'll be lucky if they get 50 each night. And honestly, I fully expect All In to have more for the event than either night of Mania this year. Especially that they weren't in they weren't in London last year. So I think that's definitely going to be an AEW's advantage. The fact that they weren't there for All In last year.
I don't know. If they pull that off, that's gonna be a fucking big deal. Because the first time in Wembley was getting that amount of people was an aberration. They'll never do that again. But to have two under your belt where you beat out WrestleMania, especially in the modern day, with TKO being the billion-dollar juggernaut that it is, it will change a lot of perception that AEW is, baby brother. You know what I mean? That could put them back into, all right, we're a competitor, we're an alternative conversation.
Well, they sold out Staples tonight, and a lot of people I see are saying that well, it's still a 20, it still fits 20,000. You only sold 12, and I think they're to shit on that when they sold out all their available tickets is just bad faith. Like to me, I don't understand whether you like WWE or prefer it over AEW. I don't understand why you have to shit on the accomplishment. It's still the second highest attended Revolution they've ever had. So, and probably, do you think it's fair to say that this might be the most eyes that'll be on Revolution they've had, especially with launching the new app and all that?
Could be. I'd agree with that.
I think the most. I don't get why it'd be the most eyes because I don't think the build up to this has really been that good, and most of the matches haven't been like. Okay, aside from Andrade Bandito, it's not one match I look at. Then I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I see that one. I mean, there's a sense of unpredictability with the main event. We'll get to that later on and stuff. But I think this is kind of just a. This is how bad, not to compare AEW to WWE, but this kind of shows how bad WWE is right now. That AEW, even at their most average right now, and that's what this kind of build has been, because their hot momentum has dwindled down a bit. But even at their most average right now, they're drawing up more interest than WWE.
Can I also add one thing to your point, Hub? The reason I think, to Brandon's point, why this would be one of the most viewed pay-per-views AEW has done, with my AEW being a thing, is that it's going to be more accessible and affordable to fans. And that's why TNA was able to grow the way they've grown and basically quadruple their fucking audience. It's because it's now more accessible to their fans. Like, that was kind of an AEW problem, to where a lot of their pay-per-views, if you ain't having the $50, you wasn't watching that shit. Or a lot of people watch that shit illegally, but not a lot of people are going to be that dedicated to watch that shit illegally. So, like, now you're getting a slightly more amount of the dedicated AEW fans access to everything, especially with how cheap the content is. So, as alternative to what WWE's doing to most of their fans, where you're going to have to pay like $120 a month basically to keep up with all their fucking content with ESPN and Netflix and Paramount and all these other things, that all these other hands that is in the fucking cookie jar now. So I think in terms of accessibility, just for wrestling fans who want to be able to watch AEW wrestling consistently but just can't afford to, now this is a slightly more affordable alternative, especially if you got a VPN out here.
Yeah, I'm traveling to England tonight to watch Revolution. Completely legal. Suggest no one tries the same thing here. There's another thing that I'm sure we'll probably get into before we get to Revolution here. What are our thoughts on the Orton quote-unquote heel turn?
Well, hold off on that. That's going to be the no pun intended, the main event of the show. We're gonna get to that.
Oh, we closing with that? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna close with, because we did we did a prediction show last week for Revolution. So
I thought Big Boom AJ was going to be the main event here.
yeah, definitely not. But back to the circle back around to the Royce Key thing. I know DJ's always, he's been basically saying that the guy was DOA from the start. I just don't feel that being put in this spot, and while, yeah, there's going to be a lot of comedy behind it, and it's not going to be a serious storyline, especially with the people being, on the other side of the ring is going to be The Miz and most likely Kit Wilson. I still feel that it's a good jumping off point for Royce Keys. And while I have been using the Ray Phoenix analogy, what would be happening with this would be a match that is being put together for Royce, whereas Phoenix was thrown in as an alternate because of an injury. Like, if Ray didn't pull his groin last year, Phoenix would never even have been in WrestleMania last year. Whereas, from what we can see, this is, primed for Royce to be in that spot. So, I think it's a positive. I really do. I don't think it's a bad thing. I understand where DJ's come from, and I agree that he should have, gone to NXT even for a couple of months. It would have helped the NXT brand, especially how they've been suffering. But I just don't think that this is a bad thing for Royce.
To quote myself from last week, I'd rather be right later and have all y'all tell me I'm wrong now. So when I'm right later, I could just rub it in y'all face. See, oh, yep, I said it. Told y'all. I knew it. And it's not like I'm just saying it because I just want to bitch about something. I've given like alternative things you could have done with Hobbs that would have made sense and been a better way to present him and really make him make a splash on that main roster outside of Trick, Oba, and Javon that you're already strongly pushing.
Well,
yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
All right. Do you want to talk about the OVW incident?
Go ahead. I said a little bit about it yesterday, but I didn't say much.
I mean, for those who don't know and been living under a rock, they had I guess it was a live TV show the other night. The referee took a bump, a planned bump, and then he ended up having a seizure. And whatever communication there was broke down. The wrestlers involved either ignored it or were unaware of it. They kind of pushed him to the side, gave him a little shove with their foot, and basically it brought up a lot of questions of, I guess safety would be the right word when it comes to, I guess a smaller promotion like an OVW. Would you say
it was?
Did I miss anything on that?
No, but the way you explained it doesn't understand the amount of time that this guy was not only knocked out and seizing, and no one was doing nothing. These guys had to. Every guy in the ring was more focused on getting their shit in than focusing on the guy who just got splashed. And apparently, they thought he was just selling so well. It just shows that these guys aren't really being trained. They're just being shown how to do moves. And it's really sad to see. And it's also going to be sad to see OVW get shut down within the next few years because his family should be suing the fuck out of them for all types of negligence. And if anything, he should own that promotion now. The promotion is his. I don't know what else to say.
Do you think it's going to get to that, or do you think that he's going to end up working something out and, or he's going to put aside that for, I guess, his dreams of being in the business.
Fuck that. If 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 I was him in his shoes, first of all, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm getting a lawyer. I'm suing the fuck out of him. Fuck my dreams of being a wrestler. I got dreams of being rich. Um, and that shit scary. You don't understand them. Having seizures and shit, and like strokes and having brain damage like that, you don't come out the same a lot of times. Like that shit is serious. Like there's long-term effects he don't even know he's gonna have possibly from this. So if anything, he should learn a lesson. Be like, all right, maybe I'm not tough enough for this business. You know, I'm only 5'8", 145 pounds, no muscle. I shouldn't be out here taking bumps. This should be left to the professionals. But it's egregious. Everyone who's involved should never be allowed in a wrestling ring again because they're obviously too stupid to be in the wrestling business. OVW should be scared for their life. But there's a lot. I don't want them to be shut down because there's a lot of good people working there, and it's a good place for a lot of people to get their start in the wrestling business. But y'all gotta figure some shit out to dig y'all out of themselves out of this fucking hole, because this was bad. This was like, and not to compare the two, but this was Roger Jackson almost killing Psycho Stu bad.
My issue I took up as far as with the IWC is people you trying to use it as a gotcha to defend AEW. And I saw a lot of them were reposting a tweet from like 2024 where Al Snow was talking about some incidences in AEW and that someone's going to die in the ring. And I just felt that was one thing I felt that's not the time or the incident to use to try to play gotcha because, you know, someone was critical about your favorite promotion. So I had a problem with, you know, with the pro AEW accounts trying to use that to wave the AEW flag when, you know, someone's life potentially could have been, you know, changed forever.
Hub, anything else to add on it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much all said it. I go back to the Roger Jackson stuff and how stupid some of today's professional wrestlers are in the indie scene. Like, when that dude's literally out cold choking on his fucking teeth, and you just have dumbass number 2 just running over and going for a pin on him. Like, it's all the same shit. Like, how dumb are you people? And I don't think he's going to, like, sue and own and OVW is going to get shut down, but it kind of just shows what OVW is. It's a joke.
I mean,
so that's really you can't take OVW seriously.
I wonder if he does have. I mean, obviously he's probably will try to sue, but they probably had some paperwork, like no fault paperwork. I would think, right? Especially that it's not like the Roger Jackson incident. You know, it was a medical emergency. No one expected to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he'll be back to work for them. If you want that hot take right there, I think he'll end up back with them at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to sue them. I think they're gonna pay him handsomely under the table for, you know, his time and efforts and everything that happened. But I don't see him just, you know, saying fuck you, Al Snow, or whoever else owns it. So
I would be surprised they already paid his medical.
yeah, I'm sure they did. I mean, I think he's still in the hospital, so they're still paying.
Yeah, his ass ain't get probably until like later this week, if at best.
I know, DJ, you wanted to talk about Ricky Sosa.
Oh yeah, so Ricky Sosa. Well, he technically debuted last week. He technically debuted last week at the taping, but the taping happened this week, and I thought he actually looked really solid. And I wish Dylan was here because he's always coming in and asking the question, do you think TNA can get stars off the indies? Do you think they can pull off and, bring in indie talent and develop them? Ricky Sosa's your fucking answer. That's definitely a guy who can draw interest. Definitely, he gets social media buzz, and that's kind of what TNA needs right now to help grow their audience, get people learning that they're fucking back and trying to put boots to ass to the other competitor. So this was an interesting debut and match and situation just because TNA has been picking up some talent. It's not like they haven't been trying to sign people. They've been signing people and re-signing people. So it's going to be really interesting, the next few months of TNA because they're shopping around for talent now. And I still think they're going to be sold at some point this year. I think it's inevitable.
Do you think? Did you see what Stephanie? I don't remember. I don't know how to say her last name.
Stephanie DeLander.
Yeah, what she was saying about contracts for them and stuff like that. And do you think that's gonna deter people?
No, because there's still people who re-signed with them anyways. I think she just had a bad experience. Honestly, I think she thought she was bigger than what she was. Like, we haven't heard anything from the TNA side. We've only heard her story, and that she's only talking to people who have wrestler sympathetic outlets. You know what I mean? People who are going to believe the wrestlers before they believe the big corporate wrestling promotions. So,
and honestly, what did they do wrong? They wouldn't clear her to wrestle because they're afraid she's going to hurt herself. They're protecting the talent. So I don't understand. I mean, she's trying to make it like they didn't want to pay her or anything like that. And I don't think it was anything to do with that. I think it was just the fact that she wanted to wrestle, and they did not feel comfortable that she was going to be able to not get hurt again.
But some of the shit she said about how they were treating her, though, again, a lot of people who are just already have their opinions made are going to believe what the wrestlers are saying and favor their opinion on them and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And that's the people she's trying to appeal to anyway. So I'm just looking at it from more of an objective standpoint. It's not like she was running through the women's division there. It's not like she was one of their top stars. It's not like the women's division is going to die without her. So she's going to find another job. She'll get hired somewhere else, and
she's already champion.
Yeah, I think she won the ACH title last night.
She beat Indy Hartwell.
Where the fuck is that?
New York.
Oh, I know she beat Indy Hartwell. I'm like, you beat your former WWE fan. Kudos.
Was it fucking Poopski or some shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say
New York.
Yeah, ACH. It's like an independent promotion in like upstate New York. So I'm actually surprised you have
ACH.
Huh?
I remember ACH. Remember that little fucker, the dude who his wrestler name ACH. He was Jordan Miles in WWE.
Yeah, he got upset about a T-shirt design, and then he lost his mind.
I mean, isn't it right? That shirt was low-key racist.
I don't even remember what it looked. Huh?
It was a black T-shirt, and then it was like his name, but it was looked at as like a smile with like red outlines. It was to make it look like really racist. And WWE's excuse was, well, it's just to show his teeth. And it's like that's not his gimmick. But on the SDL stuff, she says all that about TNA, but then we go to GCW, who is 10 times worse when it comes to safety.
Yeah, isn't that that's where Joey Janela and Sabu had their match, right?
Joey Janela, Sabu. You're about to have Joey Janela versus a 14-year-old. You had, did they host Nick Gage versus Arquette when Arquette's neck got fucking slashed open, or was that a different event?
I think that was a different event. Because I feel like if it was GCW and David Arquette, that's an easy lawsuit.
But regardless, you can't sit there and go at TNA for safety and then you turn around and go to GCW, who is not known for safety.
I think she's just trying to use the notoriety to get some bookings. To be honest with you,
I mean, she'll get bookings regardless. I'm not gonna sit there and say her and Mance are a great indie or a great act. They're not. They're okay, but like they get indie bookings regardless. They were doing it beforehand.
I mean, she's
I
still,
don't even think they were that good in TNA.
and she still has that former WWE star attached to her. So
I think she lost. I think that's long gone by now.
well, now she has former TNA star.
I don't even remember what the hell her WWE name was.
I don't remember either.
Start with a D.
No.
That's all I know.
No, I don't know why I want to say it started. That should start with like a P.
All I know is that
Let me
was
stop.
team with Indy, and that was about it.
I'm actually gonna try to look it up right now.
I'm pretty sure that should start with like a P.
Yeah, Persia Parada.
That's such.
Yeah, man.
It sounds like a fucking cheese.
I thought it was an Indian name.
That is
When I heard
fucking terrible.
out of it, I'm like, who
Yeah,
will approve of that?
that's definitely a Vince decision. We're calling Persia. Oh boy, these fucking names. Surprisingly, not the worst name we've seen.
Definitely not.
So DJ, I want to ask because I haven't watched TNA in the last few weeks. Has the show improved from the first episode on AMC?
Oh yeah, the first episode was an aberration, and I explained that after everyone started going crazy, saying it was the worst episode ever, blah blah blah. It was hard for them they were in a position where they were never going to succeed for their debut episode. It was always going to be a letdown because their debut episode was their go-home show for their pay-per-view. So, reality, their real debut show was the second week, which everyone said was drastically better than the first one. Then they've pretty much been on a steady rate. There were actually like a week or two span where they completely sucked, where it was just like, kind of old TNA. But they picked it back up, and I think they're I think their strategy is draw up interest around the pay-per-views and try to do the Tony Khan model. Except they do more coherent TV and storytelling. Give or take a few things that, you're just like, I'm not interested in this. But that's every wrestling promotion. You're not going to like everything in every promotion, ideally. But for the most part, yes. I'd say they drastically increased since the first episode. But I also think everyone, didn't give it a chance and had too high expectations for it without knowing everything that was going on in context. And I'm just saying that as an avid TNA watcher.
Like I said, I just haven't watched it in a few weeks, so I didn't see Ricky Sosa's match, and I don't know. I've never seen a match with him, so I can't really comment on it. And I know you really spend your time with TNA, so that's why I handed it off to you.
It was a good debut match. It wasn't like a squash match. It was literally watching an old school Mid-South show when they're debuting a new guy. Like when Magnum debuted for Mid-South. You got this young up and coming guy. He looks impressive. He's over. People knew who the fuck he was before. You know what I mean? Everyone was Sosa, bang, bang. He got the loudest reaction of the fucking show. Like, he's over. And it looked like, I wouldn't say a training match, but it looked like he was going out there trying to earn a job. So, in that context, he's got something. And if TNA can nab him up, that's a young up-and-coming star that they can build with a catchy catchphrase that WWE would love to feature. So we can see how that goes.
So
but in terms of how they've been week to week, not bad. They're building Mance Warner and Santana for the belt, which that's interesting because they haven't used Mance Warner that high of a position yet.
Macklin.
Or Macklin, not Mance Warner. My bad. Macklin. I think Mance Warner just had like his retirement match or something.
He didn't know. That's Steph's husband. He quit with her.
Oh yeah, that's fact. That's what happened. He left.
Yeah.
I knew he was gone. And I was like, oh, I don't give a shit. It's Mance Warner.
His last match in TNA was against AJ Francis.
And he lost.
I know. I mean, I really wasn't expecting Mance Warner to win because I really never understood his character.
Only thing I got they need to start building in TNA, honestly. Have AJ get into some type of faction and be the top heel. He can talk. He's one of the better talkers they got in AEW.
I think
AEW and TNA.
There really be another faction. Who would you even put him against?
Put him against? I don't know. That's a problem for them to figure out. But I'm saying purely as a talker and a shit talk, like there's not really that many good talkers in TNA. But I wouldn't put him in a championship match with Mike Santana.
Oh no.
Because how can I say that? He's not a main event wrestler, but he is a main event talker. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see him in main event segments talking for somebody and just being the mouthpiece for a group.
I mean, if you ask AJ, he's the best heel in the business, so.
I mean, he's naturally a prick. So, like, and that's what he figured out, honestly, when he went to TNA is, okay, I'm going to just be myself and turn it up a bit. And that's pretty much what he's done. Who he portrays on TV is not that far off from the person he is in real life.
And that usually makes the best wrestling characters. We've seen it for years and years. You know, Steve Austin was Steve Williams, turned up to an 11. Dwayne Johnson turned up to an 11 is The Rock. So, you know, that's definitely the right formula to use.
Hub, you there? You've been all quiet.
Yeah, my shit was like muted for some reason on my end. For TNA, I hope they get Ricky Sosa. Those are the kind of talents they should be trying to go after, not the like ex-WWE or AEW cast-offs, like fucking Bear Bronson. They, I think obviously it's been a legit upgrade since the first episode. I still think there's some shit they could improve on, and there's some shit they probably need to get rid of. AKA the Elegant brand shit and the
Now fuck you, I love the Elegance brand. They're the best heels in the business.
So bad.
Listen, they're bad on purpose. Listen, they're bad on purpose. That's the heat. That's what a lot of people aren't understanding about the Elegance brand. That's the heat. They're so bad. You don't want them on television. You never
Elegance got to compete.
And I was gonna say, Ash is actually the best part of the whole group. Okay, I love Ash. Like, she's the reason why Stooges is over with me. I just love the package with the Stooges, and it's so bad. Like, it's so bad you have to hate it. That's heat.
I think we need an explanation of how she went from forced to retire to now she's magically back in less than a year.
She wasn't quit or something.
No, she randomly dropped the Knockouts title and said she had to retire. And then now she's back in doing matches again.
But whenever she gets her match and wins off Ariana. Because I don't think Dire is taking it. I don't think Danny Luna is taking it whenever she gets her shot. Because she's still taking the shot.
It's gonna be a phase. It's not gonna be It's not gonna be I just lost your name for a second. God damn it.
It's not gonna be a heel.
I think that's the issue TNA has right now, though, in terms of their women's division. They don't have really that many good baby faces. All their good wrestlers are all heels.
I mean, give it to Indy Hartwell, I guess.
That's it though. You know what I
That's
mean?
probably
Like
the one.
That's pretty much it.
that's their baby faces right now. Indy Hartwell. That's it.
It's Indy, Rosemary,
Going after the title.
yeah.
And Martha Day. But
After she
She's
did
been
Elena
big
Black.
time since she joined TNA. That's one. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one that ends up taking the Knockouts title from Ariana wins time.
Well, here that we should probably lose the belt.
I think she holds it till Slammiversary.
Damn. I thought it's either Marsha Day or Indy Hartwell. Or, what's her name? Fucking.
Well, you're done.
hold on. Sorry. Side tangent, real quick, because me and Brandon talked about this at some point this week, and now we got to re-talk about this. So Dom kept his Triple Mania championship last night. He retained.
Oh, I was gonna get to that once. I was gonna get to Rey de Reyes once they were done with their TNA talk.
Okay, nah, fuck that. We expedite into that because now it's fresh on my mind, and I'll forget about it. Like, I think that's gonna be interesting going into Mania because now I definitely think Finn and Dom are fighting for that belt.
You think they're going for the AAA Mega Championship?
Yeah, if Dom's still holding it for Mania, why not?
I would be surprised for them to put that title at WrestleMania on.
We were also surprised that they took the IC title off of Dom and gave it to Penta. So and it's a marquee match because Dominic's over. They own AAA, so they're doing their damnness to make sure that they're the premier fucking promotion in Mexico. What's a better way to do that to try to showcase them on Mania without having to showcase the silly luchadors or the trans goofy lady dude who likes to kiss all the guys in the ring, because they definitely don't want to do that in front of a bunch of children, with who's backing them. So you gotta think of what's the best way to really try to get eyes on AAA. Have their top prize be defended on WrestleMania. They'd give TNA that same fucking courtesy if they owned them.
That means you're probably gonna have Dom win, and I don't think Dom should be beating Finn at Mania.
No, have Finn win, and then send him to fucking AAA for a few months.
I don't think that's the story they're leaning towards. I think they're building towards the El Grande Americano versus Dom, and that's probably maybe your Triple Mania main event or the U.S. show main event. That's apparently coming up in April. It's one of those two, I'm guessing.
Probably AAA.
They've been teasing the El Grande Dominic Mysterio thing in AAA.
And now that he's facing AAA, this not the original. Wait, they're both facing AAA.
No, original's a heel in AAA, but a face in the US. And then Kaiser's El Grande is a massive baby face in AAA, but a heel in the US WWE.
Okay, I'm like, right, because after what El Grande did to the original El Grande, yeah, he is the heel in AAA. I thought Santos or Lapaka was gonna win the sword.
Yeah, what happened to Santos last night?
I have no idea. I let you give presentation.
It was okay, but I don't know. I thought when he was in that match, he was going to be the one that was probably the MVP of that match, and he wasn't.
I thought he was going to win that shit. But he took too long after he hit Lapaka with the Phantom Driver on the steel chair.
I knew Lapaka wasn't going to win, and then I would have been shocked if Santos won, strictly because they've been kind of going towards the Dr. Wagner-Santos match.
True.
So they got the right winner. It should have been Kaiser's El Grande, and that's your next face of AAA.
And now he has it, and now they're doing a celebration about him winning the sword.
Right, but
Yeah,
then
he
but
won this.
now you have to see, but you also have to see now where it goes on the WWE side because they're facing off tomorrow on Raw, which is most likely going to lead to a mass versus mass match at Mania, and there's no way you're going to take this gimmick off of Kaiser.
It's going to be Chad.
You can't. You can't take it off of Kaiser.
Kaiser's doing his best work as El Grande Americano. No offense to Chad, but Kaiser's been
Kaiser saved that gimmick.
pretty much. So Chad got to get unmasked and go back to his whatever version, whether it's American made or whatever the fuck. He's going to lose that match.
I think you can unmask Don and Bate, but I don't think you should unmask Kaiser. at this point.
No, do not unmask Bait and Dunn. If you do, they're might go to get released.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think you keep everyone under the mask. You keep
But
everyone back.
that did not work.
But no, so what I think is, because I think there's a longer plan to this than everyone thinks. I think Gable will lose, but then American Made will turn babyface to go against the dastardly luchador heels because Gable wants to get payback, and they'll either run a rematch at Backlash or the pay-per-view after.
That would be. What's out the backlash?
I have no fucking clue.
Oh, you got
And then it's Clash in Italy.
Right.
They'll run it back at Saturday night's main event.
Really? I'll put it on freaking Clash in Italy?
Hell no.
Why not?
It's a Clash show in Italy. They're gonna make sure every star possible's on that fucking show.
I don't even think they'll do it at Saturday Night Main Event. Because, they have for some reason, they're addicted to 4 or 5 matches. I don't think that'll be one of the 4 or 5 matches for those ones. I think you'll get the match here. Maybe the blow off at Mania, or maybe you just save it for Triple A.
Oh,
Would you take on a random AAA show or do it on the PLE?
The U.S. AAA. I think you do it at the U.S. AAA show, or you do it at the event they're having. I think it was in May they announced.
When's the next Worlds Collide?
they haven't even announced one.
I think they're doing one. They should. They honestly
Well-
should have done one Mania weekend.
They should do another Worlds Collide. The last one was good.
What do you feel about the Vikingo chair shot to Dom? To the head that busted him open.
Oh yeah, I'm like, well, it makes sense because it was a no DQ match. I just wasn't expecting.
You want to know my first thought?
What?
You're gonna laugh at this. Now Dom knows how Matt Hardy felt when Sammy Guevara did the same exact fucking thing.
Oh my god, DJ.
For all my real AEW diehards who remembers that shit.
I've seen the clip of it.
Yeah,
And Matt Hardy got his payback when he fucking dropped Sammy Guevara on his skull.
No, that was Matt Hardy who
Yeah,
fell on his skull.
No, I thought it was Sammy.
No,
it was Matt Hardy.
it was Matt, and they
Tried to
continued the
kill him twice.
match.
If I could say it was a lot. Oh my god, what the fuck did they
No,
have?
so what happened
It
was
Sammy.
it was 2 weeks before the angle. Sammy chucked the chair into his face. For an angle, Sammy chucked the chair into his face. Then 2 weeks later, they had the match, and then Sammy speared Matt off of the fucking what was it, forklift, missed the
Oh yeah,
table,
that sounds right.
and Matt cracked his skull. He was out.
Oh yeah, because Reba had her fucking breakdown.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking name is. Remy.
That bitch we don't discuss.
Just done nothing to me.
I just don't think they're gonna. I honestly don't think they're gonna use the Mega Championship at WrestleMania. I just really,
match.
I just really don't think so.
I don't either. If you're gonna have Finn Balor win, which I think you should, you don't put the AAA title on one.
And then if Finn freaking wins, you gonna lose it back? You gonna lose it to Vikingo?
El Grande. Kaiser's El Grande should be the next AAA champion. And then that's the guy you're building AAA around as you try to get it going, really.
All right, speaking of the Kingdom, now that he lost to Dominic, he gonna be fighting Penta for the IC title down the line.
I think that's probably. I think El Grande, Kaiser El Grande versus Vikingo, is probably your August AAA main event. No, I don't think they're gonna hold off on Dom and El Grande till August.
Do you do it after him and Penta?
I don't think you're gonna do him and Penta. Because Penta's next appearance in AAA is probably going to be teaming up with his fucking brother.
But he also said he was going to defend that Intercontinental Championship in AAA.
A lot of people say a lot of things. Doesn't mean it ends up happening.
I mean,
I don't know if Penta's going to walk out of Mania Intercontinental Champion, depending on who he's facing.
They definitely want. That's definitely, I think, a reason why they haven't done the Lucha Brothers in WWE. I think they intentionally want to do them first in AAA. And obviously, the shoulder injury a couple months ago, postponed that. So, did they announce when they're going to be teaming up again, or they just said they're going to be?
I think they said Triple Mania.
Which is when?
August.
August, okay.
It's usually August.
Yeah, because that's...
And then they'll probably schedule it the weekend of All In.
It would not surprise me if they used AAA to, quote-unquote, counter-program.
They'll put that shit at Arena Mexico.
But let's quickly talk about the potential of Mania 43 getting moved. With everything going on in the Middle East, if it does get moved, where should we move it to?
LA.
I think you gotta get it out of the West Coast. I'd go, well, it depends. If you're going to early April, then your options are kind of limited. If you're going late April, like closer to May, then your options are really wide open. You can really do anything at that point. If you promote it as your first international WrestleMania that's not in North America, I think this is where you go to London.
Do you do what?
I think
do
the
Wembley?
favorite would probably have to be New Orleans right now, because I feel like you own New Orleans at WrestleMania now.
Well, I said New Orleans.
But if you go to London, do you do Wembley?
Yep.
You have to. Where else are you gonna go?
WrestleMania and Wembley.
That's the one I think you do. You do WrestleMania and Wembley.
I think, well, there's a few things they got to figure out first. They got paid $500 million for fucking WrestleMania. So,
if there's nothing you can do if you're going to fly over and your plane's probably going to get shut the fuck down.
No, but the issue is who's going to pay WWE that heavy amount of money for WrestleMania? It's not like WWE's just looking for a place to host the show. They're looking for a place who's going to pay them top dollar for it. So
they're not going to get what Saudi Arabia paid them.
No, they're not. But they're going to want like $5 to $10 million to host a WrestleMania in your town. And
I think they can get that easily.
I don't know.
I think if it's 10, no. If it's 5, maybe 6, I think they can swing it. I think they can land it. They may have to bite the bullet and take a loss on if they have to go crawling back to New Orleans. But I think if they do move, it's probably between New Orleans and Indianapolis. Indianapolis is under their deal with their commission out there. They're supposed to get a Mania at some point. And then New Orleans, you practically owe one too. No. So if they do move, I think it's probably Indianapolis or New Orleans.
If they're stupid enough to try to go to Vegas again, that's it. It's dead. It's a wrap.
That crossed my mind.
That would be a complete wrap.
I don't get their addiction to Vegas. It's not a good fucking. It's not for wrestling. It's not a good area.
It's
It
TKO.
never has been.
It's
It never
TKO.
has
That's
been.
why.
It's good for like boxing or UFC, like actual fights, not pro wrestling. It's never been that good for pro wrestling. It's a reason WWE did not go back to Vegas for WrestleMania for a while. And they had numerous chances too. They could have done it as soon as the Raiders Stadium was done. If we remember, before Vince forced retirement, they announced Money in the Bank at Allegiant Stadium. And they had to move it out because ticket sales were so fucking bad. They couldn't do T-Mobile because UFC had an event that night, so they had to go to MGM, which is about almost 80,000 seats less than what they originally planned for Money in the Bank. Like, Vegas has never been a pro wrestling city, and it's never going to be. But for some reason, they just want everything in Vegas. And I seriously doubt Vegas paid a shit ton to bring WWE back. I think they just wanted it back in Vegas.
You don't think that they paid them more than New Orleans was paying them, and that's why they went ahead? I feel like they had to have.
I think they matched. I don't think they paid more. I think they matched at best. But I think WWE looked at it as, you know what, we'll make more in New Orleans. Why wouldn't we? Which comes back as stupid now, than we would in New Orleans, because there's not much in New Orleans besides food. Or what are you gonna do? Go watch the fucking Pelicans? They suck.
You can always transition to being Heat fans. That's all I gotta say. No big
Shut up. You scored 80. You just got a guy that scored 83 points. I don't want to hear shit.
83. Cough, cough, nudge, nudge.
Oh my god, I love trolling the Kobe fans.
It's the greatest thing ever now.
Oh wow. Oh shit. Okay, looks like I fucking shattered your record.
Oh, you just saw it? I already took the screenshot. So we can flex to our haters later.
Wow, 1109.
Damn.
Damn.
We out here beating Andrew Bate dollar number, motherfucker. We beating Philip Pro Wrestling time numbers. Holy shit. I just want to say shout out to my mama.
God damn.
Oh, let's get to the big WWE story of the weekend. The Randy Orton heel turn on Cody to further set up, I should say, their main event Mania match. I'm going to let DJ start it off.
Nope, y'all motherfuckers go first.
I was waiting for it.
I'm not about to try to pull this shit on me now. We saving the best for last. Go.
Expected. I didn't think they were turning Cody. I was kind of shocked to see the blood. I didn't think they were going to do the blood, but you know they did. I thought the angle itself and the beatdown was good. I think he should have been stretchered out. Even if you don't show it on TV, I think that would have been a social media clip of seeing Cody being stretchered out. That would have, you know, added more to the match and to the whole thing. And I am curious to why. You know, what's the why behind Randy turning all of a sudden? Hub?
I don't even think it was a heel turn. I think it was more of a, because you listen to Randy talk, it was more of Orton knows what he has to do to get number 15. And he has to listen to the voice in his head. The voice in his head told him, go fuck that man up. And that's what he did, send a message. This is who you're facing. You're not facing your buddy here. I don't think Orton's probably going to be heel here. I mean, they'll probably end up turning him at the end of it all, but I didn't look at it as a full-blown heel turn. And I don't think the fans are going to look at it as one, too, because that dude's going to get cheered. And I think he's going to get cheered more than Cody. Which, I'm someone that I did not want this match to begin with, because I don't give a shit that they were in an okay fucking three-man faction fucking 15 years ago. I have no interest in the Cody Randy shit, but heel turn got me a little interested. They think they were announced as the main event of night one officially.
Yeah, which we knew.
How it's being promoted.
Which we knew.
I wouldn't have. I would have had them kick off Mania Night One to get the views in for ESPN.
Which is
what are you going to put on there?
Right.
What are you going to put on there that's going to bring people to watch?
That's going to be an interesting conversation too. Is what do you put on those first hours for each night to, draw?
Because one of them's going to be Brock.
I was getting Brock for night one.
No, I think night two because it's on ESPN proper. Because it's on ESPN proper.
Yep.
The other night one is on ESPN too.
Rhea versus Jade or Liv versus Stephanie McCure is good enough to bring in views for either ESPN one.
I can't go off WrestleMania.
So I disagree with you on the Liv and Stephanie one because Stephanie has the international appeal to where Liv has the WWE mainstream media appeal. To where I think with those two ladies, it's a different story. Rhea and Jade, I agree with you on. Rhea,
I'm out with those two.
Like Rhea with the mainstream appeal, I agree. She has the mainstream appeal, but Jade don't. Like they're trying to elevate Jade to that level right now. That's you know what I mean. That's the purpose of this match, to try to elevate Jade to that Rhea Ripley type level because she is marketable like a motherfucker. So, but if you're talking about who can get more eyes, I definitely Liv and Stephanie, I would say can get those eyes.
Now that I'm thinking about it, go back to the conversation we started the night with. Jelly Roll's match is probably going to be the ESPN one, ESPN 2 one.
Makes sense because that's your mainstream.
So you kick off with that?
Yeah, I gotta see what the rest of these matches are.
I mean,
even some of the rumored ones, like it just, I don't know, like Balor Dom. I don't think you're putting that on ESPN or ESPN 2. I think that's going to be straight ESPN Unlimited kind of thing. Gunther versus maybe it's Ray. Who the hell knows at this point? I don't even think they know.
Because Mysterio's hurt again.
I don't think. I mean, maybe if it's Ray and you're doing Ray's retirement match, then that's the one you kick off night one with. To bring people in, oh, this could be the legendary Rey Mysterio's final match. Maybe that's your selling point. But like looking at a lot of these rumored matches, they don't have a lot of options except for Brock, and I think they're saving Brock for night two because it's going to be on actual ESPN.
It's I don't know what the disconnect with WWE creative has been towards building towards this WrestleMania. I mean, you could only say, well, they've had too many injuries or whatever for so much. It didn't affect the entire creative card. It affected 1 to 2 matches. So, I mean, we're 5 weeks away. We should have more official matches announced. Or at least an idea where things are going to.
All right, since you guys went on first, it's my time. Time for the time y'all motherfuckers been waiting for a week. So, like, where do I start? First, Randy going heels. Again, Triple H going with the safe, reliable option. I don't understand this. And it really did come out of nowhere. I know I have an idea of where they're trying to go with it. That Randy was going to turn heel no matter who was signing that contract. He was going to do that no matter what. He had the thought in his head, and it just sucked that it had to be Cody. He wasn't expecting Cody to be there. It's not personal. It's just business because he wants the belt, blah, blah, blah. Again, kind of somewhat predictable with the route they're going because it's the safe route to go. I think they did the heel turn too early. Timing's definitely a bitch. This angle would have been a lot more received by me if it was done 2 weeks later, 2 weeks from now. It would have been more acceptable. He could have lured Cody into his false sense of security. Instead, Cody just looked like a dumbass. It's not even like Randy just betrayed Cody after weeks of pretending to be his friend, actually building on this shit instead of again just coming up with random ideas to try to make this shit interesting. We had a few weeks. You had time. You didn't have to just rush and do the big contract signing for the title bout and do all this giant angle. How are they going to find? Realistically, other than just the explanation, how the fuck are they going to follow this up going into Mania? They're not. It's kind of the same thing how I said Punk and Roman blew their load the first week, but they came back with better shit. So I was wrong about that one, but I think it's more applicable to this one, definitely, with less time to build between, when they started this feud and Mania. I just feel like they went from step 1 to step 7 in 1 week. And then in terms of the angle itself, most of it was fine. Him coming back for the chair shot is what really took me out of it, because it didn't look real at all. But they did a hospitalization angle. Cody should not be seen on TV for the next 2 weeks. So Randy's going to have to carry this feud. And those are my bitches and my gripes.
Not as bad as I thought. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's bad. It's still bad as fuck.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
I'm saying though, it encapsulates. I can't get any more angry about it. It's not that I'm angry about it. I'm disappointed like a motherfucker. I'm dejected. I'm depressed. This is fucking WrestleMania this year. This is what the fuck we got going into it. You feel me? This angle, this feud encapsulates to the T how bad the build and how bad WrestleMania is going to be this year. And I'm not watching this fucking shit. I'm protesting this. Y'all can watch it and give me fucking notes on it. Because I'm not interested. I'm interested in a match and a half. I'm interested in what Brock's doing, and I kind of want to see Roman and Punk because the feud's been fucking cooking. They've been telling that story right because they've given it time. They've let it slow burn. I know people bitch about Roman not being there, but that ain't nothing Roman hasn't been doing for like the past 2 years anyway. So,
and he's there for the rest of the time.
Exactly. And at least the content and context of this feud has actually been pretty good. But other than that, everything else is you don't know what the fuck's going on. There's nothing there's no reason for you to give a fuck to know what the fuck's going on because they don't even know. All the guys they've been building up coming into Mania season aren't really doing shit or is fucking hurt. Jacob Fatu just fucking got beat clean to fucking Trick.
No, that wasn't clean.
No, Drew McIntyre interfered. He didn't lose clean.
Well, I'm sorry. He still beat fucking Jacob Fatu, which pisses me off.
But it wasn't a clean victory, though.
It's a guy who just challenged the world title, saw getting beat. Unless the feud's going to be Jacob and Trick going into Mania. Even then, and why the fuck would you do that? Because then no guy should lose that match.
Do you know what the match should honestly be? Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis.
And see, that's the one thing about that's got me confused.
The hottest fucking feuds we got right now, outside the main event ones, is fucking Becky Lynch versus a fucking referee and Drew McIntyre versus a semi-retired wrestler whose most notable contribution to the wrestling business is he's fucking Mickey James.
But now,
he was former NWA champion.
DJ, are you not excited about the Randy Cody match?
No, I'd rather watch a deer have an abortion.
What? Oh, so I take that as you're not happy.
It's stupid. The only thing they fixed for WrestleMania is now instead of 4 baby faces, we got 3.5.
Yeah, well, Randy's finally a bad guy again, which he
not really. He turned on Cody. He's about to be the biggest baby face on WrestleMania.
Yeah, and that's the funniest part. Randy Orton turned heel, and yet everybody in the arena was cheering for Randy. They didn't even boo him.
Yeah, we're cheering for the guy who just almost murdered the top babyface and the Golden Boy. That's the point we're at. And then there were so many people saying, "Oh, it was such good heat coming out of this segment." No, there wasn't.
There was no heat. Everyone was fucking happy that Randy.
Happy. Yay! Cody's getting murdered. We don't have to see him for Mania now.
That's not a good thing. Like, I'm happy Randy's a bad guy again, but everyone loves Randy Orton. Like, they're not gonna boo him at this stage in his career.
And it, like I said, it doesn't accomplish anything for the long term for Randy turning heel. Because, again, everyone's favorite argument they like to hit me with, what's going to happen after?
Yep.
Like,
and, God. Well, at least he's finally a bad guy. Like, at least we can stop doing that fucking him looking at the title bullshit.
Oh my fucking
He did do that before the show ended. He did look
like first now, though. Like, again, I said that you can only justify this feud if Cody turns heel. He ain't turning heel. So
would you run into the heel during the contract signing?
We're fucked with a babyface Cody for another year. And yippee.
It's pretty obvious that Cody Rhodes himself is literally, he's pretty much subtly telling us, I'm not fucking turning heel. He's pretty much committing the same mistake he did in AEW. He will not change his character.
Thank you. At least you brought it up before I had to fucking say it.
That's gonna be a downfall.
The problem with AEW is that he wouldn't change. Because, okay, as someone that didn't watch a lot of AEW, from what I've seen, the problem with Cody in AEW is that he kept pushing the same character. People were booing the fuck out of him because he got boring. He wouldn't change his character. He wouldn't change. And then he left, and then came WWE, and it was great. It was great for about 2 years, but now he's boring. He's stale. Like, change something up.
It's almost like is he afraid to get booed? Like, legitimately booed? Like, I don't understand why he's so trepidatious about turning heel.
Like, I don't get it. Like I could get why, because, like, it's the same with John Cena in 2012. Like, when he was, like, the biggest face of the company, you know, he wanted to turn heel, but Vince McMahon was like, no, you're the kids, you know, it's for the kids and the merchandise. We can't turn you heel.
And
I was gonna say there were PR and money implications to why John Cena turning heel shouldn't have been a fucking thing.
And I don't think that in 2026 WWE, I don't think that holds the same amount of water. Simply because they've basically opened up the gates to let you know that they're playing characters.
Yeah. And even back in 2014, they were kind of doing that, like admitting that we're just characters on TV. We're not actually a dead man or a burning victim.
Not as much as now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
that's the thing. Like, there was that interview on Chris Van Vallet with Cody Rhodes saying, like, your booze mean nothing to me. Your dislikes mean nothing to me.
Did you just call this Chris Van Fleet Chris Van Vallet?
Oh, did I get his name wrong?
Oh my fucking god.
Yes, you did.
But anyway, Cody said that, and every time he wears the suit and I saw that interview, I'm like, Cody, just fucking become a bad guy. Like, you're literally a bad guy pretending to be a good guy. It's like, rip that mask off and become who you want to be.
But yeah, no, like I said, the heel turn, quote unquote heel turn, encapsulated everything that's wrong with WWE right now. It's going to turn more people off than it does turn people on. The only people who are going to defend it are the people who constantly defend WWE all the fucking time. I've already been seeing it. Fucking Leo sickos have been jumping on my dick just because I've said WWE sucks. Compared to the highlight and buzz we got a year and a half ago going into Mania, and then even last year had more buzz than this shit.
Yeah, you were getting into it with a couple of people yesterday.
Yeah, whoever that Chris guy is, fuck you. I know you're a bitch.
Yeah, because the whole thing, at least we had to see that heel turn, you know, to go into Mania. But see, this is a point that you guys have probably brought up before on other shows, but when Randy turned heel, the one thing I noticed, and I fucking clicked instantly, it sadly shows Cody is going to get carried again by his opponent. Randy, Rock, Cena, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles were all the best parts of the feuds. Cody was not really the part you want to see. You wanted to see them. they're repeating the same mistake again.
Well, I think that as far as last year goes, I think you were screwed anyway, no matter who it was, because
John Cena.
because it was Cena's last WrestleMania. So
yeah, but the year before that though, you had The Rock and Roman Reigns. The Rock fucking was incredible.
We can't act like Cody didn't pull his weight in that one.
Okay, maybe a little bit, but
and you can argue, and honestly,
yep.
Cody carried the Cena feud in the Mania.
Not really. It's like Cena was.
Yeah,
even
Cena wasn't around.
Bad promos. Cena.
No, but I wouldn't say Cody carried because it was Cena's last Mania, and they were billing it as Cena's last Mania.
That was the big hype, but the week-to-week build, since the match was officially made, Cody was the one that was there every week. Cena wasn't. Cena was just there for 3 weeks, and then he was gone till about a week before Mania.
Yeah, the one thing though I will admit though, which is so stupid about John Cena's schedule, was that fucking you turn heel, one of the biggest heel turns since Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold. You don't even show up on the very next Raw. It's like you'd think you'd show up after that big moment, but no, he didn't show up till like 2 weeks later, I think.
Yeah, he showed up in Brussels.
Yeah, Brussels,
that
Germany.
Fat kid cry.
Brussels, Germany, that fucking moment, man. But you guys notice, I have to ask you an important question for all of you guys. On the episode when Randy turned heel with Cody, did you guys notice that the cheers for Cody weren't as loud as they usually were? I was watching and I'm like, holy fuck, it's not as loud as usual. When he came out, I heard audible boos happening when they said Cody Rhodes is coming out.
yeah, it's the fallout from putting taking the title off Drew.
But I'm shocked, honestly. Like, I'm being dead serious. I was kind of shocked when I heard all that because I'm like, wow, so I guess those dislikes weren't fake. I guess it wasn't just the internet. People genuinely are not happy about this.
Do you blame them?
I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But even though they still sung the theme song that did the whoa part, it was so fucking, like, low. It's like, oh my god, it's never this low.
Yeah, but I want to see if it's something that's going to be long lasting, or if it was just because it was immediate, not immediate, but it was a week later. I mean,
you never know. It could go back to normal.
Where are they this week for SmackDown?
I don't know actually.
Yeah. But
But they did the whole thing with Randy brutalizing the fuck out of him, making him bloody. But I'm like, I'm sorry, you just made Randy Orton even more loved by the fucking fans. Now they're gonna be cheering him even harder.
Because everybody next was Randy Orton heel turn.
And plus, he's Randy Orton. Everyone loves Orton.
Even I've been asked for it.
What if this wasn't an actual heel turn for Randy? What if, like Hub was saying, or I don't know who said it, but it was like, just this is who I really am type thing. And what if they are going to pull the trigger on the Cody heel turn? You're not going to do it on a SmackDown. You're going to want to save that for,
save that for the biggest pay-per-view.
Double heel turn?
Well, it won't be a double because if Randy is still technically a babyface... what if this was just something to lead to Cody's realizing, you know what? I'm always going to have these people coming after me. No matter what, these people who, I think are my friends are still going to see the title more than they're going to see me. And, he goes, like they've been saying for years, he goes full Homelander.
Yeah, and the funny part, I saw a tweet that said that they should pull the trigger when he inevitably fights CM Punk and do the twist where Cody turns heel and Punk is the babyface. That they should do it like that.
Yeah, but you're also not going to wait a year to do that.
I know, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, is it worth waiting a whole year to do this? But also, long-term storytelling, it's like, you gotta really... Because that's the thing, like, should we do it, like, now or wait a little bit? Because you still have CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We have to let that end first.
Well, I'm talking just as far as leading to Randy and Cody. If you're gonna pull the trigger on a Cody turn, I just don't think you do it on a random SmackDown.
You don't. You have to do it at a big event. Like it has to be like at a Bash at the Beach or WrestleMania.
Yeah, so
That's when you got to do it.
Nick, you there? You're pretty silent. So you wanted to be a speaker?
I've never heard you go off on WWE like I just did. Wow, buddy. That's just.
That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. You were here for the Rumble last year and how bad I crashed out on that one.
Oh, you have been pretty good dudes, I will say.
But yeah, no, Ropes and John got to the point before I did, and I'm just like, give them a chance, and I'm out. I tap out. I'm good. Fuck this.
I remember those days. I remember those days.
well, let's get towards the end and let's find out, Nick, what are you most excited for today?
The Oscars.
Oh God.
What?
The Oscars. You know the drama. Like, I wonder what movie's gonna come out on top.
Sinners.
You're joking, right?
I bet that fucking communist propaganda movie made by Paul Thomas Anderson is gonna win Best Picture.
Nah, Sinners.
I think it's gonna be one battle after another.
That shit movie fucking bombed. No one watched it, yet it's gonna win because it preaches leftist communist propaganda. That's why it's gonna win. Sinners is such a better movie. That should win more over it.
No, I mean, y'all know what I'm gonna be watching tonight, so.
AEW.
Well, that's why I was asking, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Fuck it, I'll just put on AEW tonight.
I think Revolution will be a good card. It looks nice. It doesn't look half bad. It looks decent.
And man better not win that title.
I can see it's gonna sound dumb, but I can see I know it's a no DQ match, but who knows? Maybe there's a fuck finish somehow, or maybe like in a Texas death match, if you get pinned, is there any rope breaks?
I don't think it's no pin. I think it's knockout or submission. I want to say.
Nah. Well, see, I feel like something's gonna happen. He's gonna win it, but then the match is gonna somehow be restarted, and that's how it's gonna go down.
I mean, I'm assuming there's
justification to restart it in that kind of match.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. They could.
And it's not like
Nick. You want me to tell you what I think is going to be the best match of the night? And
What?
you start to hear it. It's going to be the most surprising one of them all. Bandito versus Andrade.
Okay.
What?
So if you want to hear,
That's match of the year.
if you want to hear something hilarious, I fucking audibly groaned when we were doing our predictions on that when that match came up. I believe that, and I mean, people are gonna. This is where my AEW takes are far different than anybody else's. I think this match is a waste of fucking time. Could have cut this match.
Yes and no. Hold on. Yes and no. It's to help get Andrade over. I think they're saving him for an eventual Kenny match after he's done with Swerve. And they got to keep him in people's mind and make him look strong.
But why would this lead to an eventual Kenny match when that's already done? If Kenny wins, if Kenny beats Swerve, if that's where we're leading to, Kenny and Swerve, and Kenny beats Swerve, the only way next is for the WWE the World Championship. Why would he go back down to Andrade?
You want me to tell you why? I think the Blue Sky Cowboys winning tonight. I think MJF is losing. I'm in the minority here.
I mean, again, I think he wins. I feel like there's going to be something to where the match gets restarted. That way you booked yourself out of the stip of if you lost, you can never challenge for it because technically he won the match. But then the match had to get restarted. So technically, that's out the window. Right? Like,
I think it's a mistake to take the title off MJF right now.
yeah. Especially because we know who's coming back soon. And we know that, I mean, let's be real, if you don't think that Will is winning the title this year at Wembley, you're out of your fucking mind. So, I mean, if the eventual route we're taking is to put the title on Will versus Hangman, I've already seen that. saw that last year at Double or Nothing. I'm good.
I mean, if anything, you want to do Will and Omega. So you want to have Omega maybe at Dynasty take the title off of MJF, or whatever's after Dynasty. But I don't. I think
you're forgetting.
Listen, hold on. Let me just add one thing, and I'm explaining to you guys why. In hindsight, I think they're doing Hangman winning the belt tonight. I think their plan for Wembley, just in case Ospreay isn't back in time, because they aren't going to rush him back. I think the plan might be Swerve and Hangman for the belt. It's the one thing they haven't done for that feud. I know they tried to close the chapter on it, but they can reopen that shit like a bad wound.
And it's been long enough to where I don't mind it.
It's something different. It's something different that the AEW fans would want.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I understand there's more. You can do possibly more with MJF as a champion, but the issue is they have a babyface problem. They don't have a heel problem right now.
I won't lie to you though. I would be kind of interested. Like I know that Cody did it, but I would be kind of interested to see, if Hangman loses and he can't challenge for the world title. Well, where does Hangman go from there? Like that's a cool. I feel like done right, that could be a good overlapping story, right?
And there's no one on this planet who wants Hangman as far away from the world title as possible than me. But like I said, them taking the trios belt off of him and Jet Speed in the abrupt fashion that they did kind of played Tony's hand to me.
You think so?
That at least in my eyes, I could be proven wrong, and MJF wins, he prevails, blah blah blah. But I don't think they do this big of a match and have Hangman have his back this far, pretty much up against the fucking wall, and have him lose.
That's real shitty to do to MJF on his birthday.
Yeah, I don't.
It's his birthday. He has to go over. Well, I actually have MJF winning, and I think Swerve's going to cost Hangman the match tonight. And I think you're going to get MJF Swerve at Swerve's obligated title match at Dynasty for some reason.
Yeah.
Because every Dynasty Swerve's in a world title match for some reason.
That seems like it's Swerve's pay-per-view, yeah.
And then that's where Omega comes back. I think Omega's the backup plan if Ospreay's not cleared in time for the Owen.
I'm telling you, you guys are underestimating the amount Tony loves Hangman. He let this motherfucker keep his job after pretty much damn near killing the company in the first goddamn place.
Well, he let Jack Perry keep his too. And
exactly.
He took Jack Perry on like an 28-month vacation.
Well, I mean, speaking of, listen, if you guys listened last night to our interview with Liba, I asked her that question. I asked her, I'm like, what is it like working with Tony? Like, she says, in so many words, she says he's a fucking gem. So, I mean,
nobody's never said
Tony's a great guy.
The issue is Tony's not a real boss.
Tony's the kind of guy you want to work for. Because he gives a fuck about you.
Yeah, like...
I don't think anyone ever questioned Tony's heart and...
his character.
His character at all. I think it's mostly of... Does he have the sack to actually discipline people? And he did once. I mean, he fired Punk.
I mean, but then with that being said, I mean, let's see what happens tonight, right?
And he did suspend Punk and the Elite. So he suspended 4 of his top stars almost immediately. And then he sent Jack Perry on a long vacation at one point. So he has shown he can't do it. It's just... I think I don't know now how it is with punishment with AEW now, considering the quote MJF, all the toxic people, quote unquote, have left. So I don't know how the punishment is now, but I can't sit here and say Tony doesn't have a backbone, considering he has made pretty big discipline decisions beforehand.
Well, Punk and Fire wasn't his decision. It was the disciplinary committee. He just followed up on their recommendations.
Disciplinary committee of like 2 people.
But hold on, side question, real quick, Nick. For the show, who do you think's returning to date for the Blackjack Battle Royal?
So I had 3 returns booked for tonight. I had CNC, Buddy, and I actually had Britt coming back.
So, I had Jericho coming back.
You think Jericho comes back tonight?
Only reason I say that is because Ricochet posted something on Twitter calling Jericho out for the national title. And it's kind of weird that they're not doing Jack Perry versus Ricochet when they've been building up to that.
Straight up.
So why do a 21-man battle royal unless you're going to debut someone and take the belt off of, or not debut someone, but return someone and take the belt off of Ricochet?
But apparently that 21-man battle royal is on the pre-show.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you're returning Jericho, you're not doing it on the pre-show. I don't think.
I disagree.
That's what I brought up.
The realm and the lore of AEW to return a big star on the fucking pre-show.
That's I brought, and that's
Jamie Hayter.
I brought that up last
Jamie
week
Hayter
too.
big
About
star.
I brought that up too last week when we were doing the show. Is the pre-show part, but do they bleed it into the main show?
That too.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to bleed into the main show. I actually do have someone I think that is coming back for that battle royal.
I do. I mean, if we're talking just the battle royal, I could see 2 people. I could see Jay. I mean,
there's no way he's not cleared by now. It's been what, 18 months?
Well, I was going to say the same thing
Almost a year.
Well, I was going to say the same thing about Keith Lee. Keith Lee says he's ready to go, but we haven't heard a lick of it.
I don't think Keith Lee's ever coming.
I think he might be done. I think his is just COVID effects.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever coming. I don't think he's ever coming back.
I think I think it has something to do with his heart. I don't think it's physical. I think it's more internal kind of thing.
But a battle royal, you have spots in there where.
Yeah, but you're not going to bring Keith Lee back for a one-time spot in a battle royal and then have him off TV yet again indefinitely. Jay White, I could see. I mean, Jay White threw a tweet out.
Comes back tonight. I think Ospreay returns tonight.
Well, I can see Jay coming back. If not in the battle royal, do it in the trios match.
You move him off of the Bang Bang Gang and you put him with the dogs?
No, you don't put him with the dogs, but you can have him do a complete beatdown.
Well, which trios match are we talking about? Because there's 2 going on tonight.
No, the dogs match.
He's talking about the dogs against the conglomeration.
It would make no sense for Jay to go with them because they're the ones who kicked Jay out of the Bullet Club.
No, but I'm not saying to go with them. No. I'm saying to return. That could be a return. They could be beating up on Darby like they have.
Honestly, that kind of makes sense. Trio Division doesn't need it. But they already have a trio. They have the Guns, they have Juice, they have Ace Austin, who's in Guantanamo Bay. They have
Ace was on Collision last night.
No one watches this. No one watches Collision unless you want to have a Collision legacy like Andrade apparently has.
Well, you can't say that they were there. Regardless if you don't watch or not, they were still there.
No one watches. But, there was one thing I did share, and I think it's something that can be talked about here. And it's something Bay Dalla shared earlier this week. It's a little interesting.
With Chris?
Yeah. Is there a chance that this, right near in the end of Statlander in AEW?
No.
I'm not saying tonight but is it sooner rather than later?
I don't see her leaving, to be honest with you.
I think she's a homegirl, she's staying, and this is the reason why I think she's getting the title tonight. And I think at the end of that match...
No way.
I
don't. I think you gotta have Thekla win.
Hold on. Let me at least.
But this is where I said. This is where I'm saying. I see Chris winning. Britt coming back. This is where Britt comes back.
Nah.
I think Britt's done too. I mean, Tony Khan for some reason acts like he doesn't own the company. And he can't just have Britt come back.
I know. I love his always excuse. We would love to have Britt back.
Dude, you can have her back. What are you doing?
He does the same thing with Jericho. I love Chris. I would love to have Jericho back at any time. Anytime Chris wants to.
Whatever.
Hold on. But look, real quick. I think I understand where you're coming from, Nick, in the terms of Chris is a homegrown talent, but what's the first rule usually most people say when it comes to wrestling talent in general in this landscape? Always weigh your options. Don't be like Darby and announce to the world, oh, I'm staying here forever. This is the only place I'll ever be. Because now Tony can pay that motherfucker, if he wanted to, like 50 grand a year and say, oh, well, this is all I got for you and you ain't going anywhere else. So here you go. You know what I mean? It's best for her to weigh her options and not, you feel me, not just jump because she loves it there. WWE can definitely be competitive with Tony Khan if they really want Statlander. And Statlander would be a good get. But I agree with you guys, and I don't see her leaving just because the WWE field is now starting to get a little crowded. They're doing a bunch of PC signings now. Nikki Blackheart just got signed. That's kind of somewhat a big deal. She'll be on fucking TV in the next 6 months.
Let's hope.
She will. Ain't no hoping.
I can't wait for her.
Lions is still fucking NXT television. Best believe Nikki Blackheart will be on TV.
I see a lot of idols for Nikita Blackheart. Who?
It's Nikki, not Nikita.
I mean, Nick, my bad. You know what I meant.
Well, let's hope, buddy. Let's hope, right? The hope was when Royce, when what's his face went from AEW to WWE.
Don't say that. You literally missed the 20-minute segment of me.
That was we had that at the start of the show. But you're also talking someone in Nikki Blackheart who has, minimal experience, who's going to go through literally, evolve, and then, as opposed to someone, it's a completely different situation.
And especially the fact that they're pushing. They've just signed that other girl who looks like a rocker.
Well, she'll go directly to NXT, but I could see Nikki Blackheart, doing a couple of months in the PC off TV, and then eventually do Evolve for a minute before she goes to like.
But what I'm saying is, there's more. I feel like there's more other people there. Again, Kendall Gray. Did Kendall Gray just vacate the Evolve Championship?
Yeah, because she got drafted to NXT.
Right. Like there's still the ID Women's Champion, Lady Luck. Like I think there's way more other people that have gotten here before Nikki, for Nikki to bypass everybody.
I disagree. You see how fast fucking Kendall Gray is moving up the ladder?
Yeah, and then have Nikki Blackheart come in and squash her.
I hope they
I'm
don't.
Not saying do that fast.
I hope they don't change her. I hope they don't change her name. I think Nikki Blackheart's a great wrestling name.
Oh, you know they're gonna change it.
I know because
they had that other girl that just came from Evolve too. The one that everybody was like, she has a male physique.
The Undertaker. I call her the Undertaker girl, but I know what you're talking about.
Her name is
the chick from the UK they just signed.
No. It was girl who.
No, but her name was Bailey too. I think that's part of the reason they changed her name.
Bailey Humphrey.
Yes.
I mean that you could understand because there's Bailey, so.
Looking like artist.
But what I'm saying is, there's more other I get Nikki has that physique and that look, but there's other people that I think have to go through first, right?
It's Triple H's time. She'll be fine.
I just back to the Statlander stuff though. I just don't see her leaving. I think she's got a better upside to stay with AEW than to jump to WWE or even TNA. So I just don't see her leaving.
I can see her leaving. I don't think the homegrown thing works. Because we've seen homegrown guys leave. Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah. I also don't think Thekla's losing the title either. But
he shouldn't be losing. You effectively kill that whole group if she loses tonight.
Yeah. And you kill her momentum. Like, you're going to put the title on her for a month?
When he's doing this.
God damn it, Nick. You should have been here last week for our fucking predictions.
Yeah, we did an entire show for AEW last week.
Buddy, you're my predictions last night? Whew, I was up there.
All right, wait. We got Herm with his hand up, and we haven't heard from him yet. Let's get Herm to chime in.
Yeah, well, I just came in and I cut the tail end of some of this conversation. I think what people forget when it comes to talent going from one promotion to another, especially when it comes to talent coming from AEW over to WWE, is they need time away from the cameras and shit like that to learn the things they didn't learn any other places. That's becoming very painfully obvious.
Ricky didn't get any time off from the camera.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Ricky went right to NXT. Hobbs isn't looking to go into NXT. He's looking to go main roster. As far as I'm concerned, Hobbs isn't main roster ready.
But he was in the Royal Rumble.
I don't give a fuck. There's a lot of people in the Royal Rumble. Hey, fucking dude, they had fucking Dory Funk Jr. at like 74 fucking years old in the Royal Rumble. Let's not go there.
But
you could be packing a lunch, or you could be here all night talking about people that were in the Royal Rumble.
But no,
the Royal Rumble means nothing.
But Herm, your comment was guys from going from AEW to WWE need to take a little bit of time off away from the camera. But
when I mean away from the camera, I mean away from the main roster and all this other stuff because they're not ready. Look at Jade Cargill. She's still not really fucking ready.
But so then why did they put him in the Royal Rumble? Why did he go to NXT?
They should have put him in NXT. I am not Hunter. If I was Hunter, believe me, that fucking shit would be run a hell of a lot different.
I'm just arguing your point.
You can argue with me. You can argue with me on my point as many times as you want, but all you have to do is watch them and see that what I'm saying is 100% accurate.
Oh no, I'm not saying you're not accurate. You're absolutely right. He should have been in NXT. That's why I don't understand why they did how they did what they did. Now,
once they found out he's 64 fucking years old, they're like, well, shit, we don't have time for NXT. You know.
I can't comment on WWE stuff because I don't watch the product. So it'd be wouldn't be fair to others.
I tell you, you're probably one of them jagoffs that likes to use the term the Fed. Am I right? One of those people?
No, Nick is.
DJ, do you want to answer that question for him?
I was gonna say no. I'll say that vehemently. So Nick does let motherfuckers in AEW get away with murder sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I will say that. Yeah.
Or at least attempted murder.
Syringes in the mouth? Yeah.
All right.
Down motherfucker's throat, that's attempted murder.
Yeah.
All right, motherfuckers. This ain't the late 90s. ECW's dead, so AEW needs to kind of fucking roll up a little bit.
What do you mean?
Because if you compare the fucking ECW crowd to the AEW crowd, it's like comparing fucking Murderer's Row to fucking Disneyland.
But there is no AEW crowd. Do you see the stadium? We're running 5,000 seat music halls.
And you're getting about 2,000 people in there.
Exactly.
But still, that 2,000 people, they think there's some sort of hardcore, I'm the big shit, you know. These motherfuckers talk like they're fucking bigger than some of the fucking talent that's out there. And believe me, with AEW, it's kind of true because if you look at it, I've seen fucking horse racing jockeys at the Kentucky Derby that look bigger than some of the talent that's on the roster.
The size isn't everything.
No, but here's the thing. I mean, you know, if I'm going to watch a wrestling match, I don't want to watch a bunch of guys that are like 100 pounds soaking wet running around. It's like, I mean, at that point, you're like watching little fucking kids play baseball.
But the guys that are running around 100 pounds soaking wet, they're doing things that it takes real skill to do, too. So, I mean, that is entertaining at some point.
Well, maybe for you it is, not for everybody.
No, absolutely not.
That's the thing with wrestling. I mean, I'm not going to shit all over AEW, but I could tell people what I don't like about the product.
Good. No,
and that's it.
No, and that's,
and
what? And I think that's what we need more of. If you don't like the product, you know, there's a couple accounts on here, and I mean, I'm not going to name names, that I see the takes of, and it's just like, dude, at this point, if you're going to use the takes your doctor see, if you're doing the takes that you're doing, why even fucking comment? Like, just don't watch.
Did you say Dr. C?
I didn't say it. I don't know checkbook.
Let's get to a real topic on hand here. What are our opinions on Speedball Mike Bailey?
Oh my God! Say his name, then he appears.
I'm still getting the silent treatment after earlier this week.
Did you copy him bar for bar?
I got
You hypocrite.
I got some shit. I got some AEW that I gotta do. I'll see you boys later. All right.
Yep.
Later.
And on that note, unless
I'm going on live with Walter. So.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, God, are you DJ? You doing a show this week, like a post show, anything?
Probably.
Okay. Send me the link. Just make sure you send the link in the thing. I'll come on.
I got you.
All right. I'll do that later.
All right, so I think we're 5 minutes away from 0 hour starting on the pay-per-view. So unless we got
big boom major.
Yep, the only AJ that's going to be showing up to AEW tonight.
Oh yeah, they're also doing Willow versus Liam Cross, I thought.
Yeah, they're pulling double duty.
Why are they doing double duty?
So it's an excuse for Willow to drop the tag titles. It's just bad. There's no reason. You're giving the women a pre-show spot that you could give to women who don't usually get those spots. But we're gonna do a double, so we have an excuse to take the tag titles off Willow and Harley. So we make Willow look weak. We make Lena and Megan look weak because they needed to win the titles off someone who got beat down already. It's just
so. We'll agree AEW has an issue with a lot of matches probably shouldn't be on the main card that are, which is why this event is usually doesn't end till fucking midnight.
I bet they pushed so.
I see 2 out of the 9 they have that probably shouldn't be on this card, and I think that's good for them.
I think this is going to be pushing close to 1 a.m.
Be asleep with them. Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. There's only 2 matches. Honest to God, I would take off this card, 3 maybe, and it'd be fine. Which is really good for them because usually they have half the card. Should he fucking be on here? Like Timeless Tony versus Marina Shafir. I don't need that. The trios title match. Don't need that. I don't need the Dogs versus Barbie, Orange Cassidy, and then Roderick Strong, who mysteriously likes Orange Cassidy again.
Yeah, those matches are just because we have to put the same people on the pay-per-view every time. So we have to find a way to get Darby on. We have to find a way to get, Tony on. We got to get OC on because it's OC. So
I feel like it's like the WWE PLEs. I feel like the opposite is WWE PLEs doesn't have enough matches. AEW has too many matches.
And then people can't just admit there's too many matches. It's like, oh, you just hate wrestling. Why would you complain about there being too much wrestling? Because not everyone can just give 5 hours of their evening on a Sunday away to sitting in front of the TV. That's why.
Like I said, the matches total would be fine if we could just accept not every match needs to be 20 minutes. Or 15 to 20 minutes. You could have some matches be 8 minutes, quick bathroom break match, aka Tony Storm, Maria Shafir.
If that goes more than 10 minutes, it's gonna be,
Maria should win.
Wait, who should win? You mean
Tony Storm, Marina Shafir. Shafir should win that one.
Oh, okay.
Tony's gonna win that. She already said she's going for the title again afterwards. So
I wouldn't be surprised. It's just the thing is with Tony is that Tony right now is just by far the biggest star that they have in the women's division, in AEW at least. I feel like Megan could be a star, but she just does a lot of inexperienced stuff. But I mean, people is gonna get glossed over.
Well, it also doesn't help that he has Megan stuck in the tag division.
That too. Oh man, but I mean, she'll have enough time to grow there. I hope she gets better, but it's because she has the look to be a main star, but she just has to get better in ring. It's kind of reminds me almost a little bit like Jade.
In what sense?
Where they both have the look, but their in-ring ability is very wishy-washy at times.
Okay.
Although with Jade, like I said this to other people, I remember saying this to DJ before, that she should have started in NXT first, but they were just so thirsty to get her in that match and get her in the same ring as Bianca and Naomi that they couldn't help themselves or her development. But whatever.
I think that was a case too where Bianca was like, yeah, let us work with her.
Which is fine.
One of those things.
Which is fine, but you know where you can do that as well? In the Performance Center.
Yeah, I get that, but I think that was just one of those things where Bianca was like, no, she wants to work main roster now, we'll work with her. But it's like, somebody should have been like, no, she needs to be down here.
Yeah, and then Bianca gets hurt and has a finger injury, which takes her out for like a whole year. Honestly, if she could have had a kid between now and then, and would have still would have been out.
Right.
But well. But as far as tonight's main event goes, I think Shafir is gonna take it, but we'll see. I just wouldn't be surprised if they just give it to Tony.
I give her everything else.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I feel like she's really the only one in that division, like I said before, who's the real difference maker.
Well, she's the one they push. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but I mean, like, she's the only one, like, the fans really respond to the most.
Yeah, it's all kind of campy at this point, if you think about it.
No, it is. I'm just saying, like, she could be a face, she could be a heel, she could do anything, and everybody's gonna go crazy. It's like she's their Rhea, you know what I'm saying? It's like she could be put in any type of program, and people are gonna respond. Similar to MJF for the men.
Yeah, the thing is, though, like with MJF, he suffers from the same thing that The Miz suffers from.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put him in as a face. Never have those fuckers work as a face.
I agree.
Most awful fucking thing you could ever do to either The Miz or to MJF is have them look face.
I'll even go as far as to say Roman. I don't think Roman's a good face.
Well, Roman proved that he's a much better heel.
The thing is, okay.
He proved that, because for years, remember how Vince was trying to push him as the face?
Yes, and it didn't work. I said it when he first came in the Shield. When he had that little thing when the Shield broke up and stuff like that, I was just like, okay, fine. But to be honest, when push came to shove and they were left to their own utilities and stuff like that, I said this guy should always be a heel. He doesn't have the look of a face. He always had the mannerisms and everything about him screamed heel. Same thing with Randy, same thing with Miz, same thing with I can't even think of other people, but you understand. There's just some people you leave it that no matter what.
Right.
You could even say this. It's very early, but you could even say that maybe Trick would be better as a heel instead of a face.
I don't think you ever have to turn Trick. I think the fans are going to respond to him however they want to, but you don't have to officially turn him. You didn't like Bray Wyatt, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They never really turned Bray. It's just the fans, even when he was going after, the baby faces, when he was going after the John Cena's, when he was going after The Undertaker, the fans are still cheering him. So it's like, you didn't have to change him for nothing. I think the fans are going to react the same way.
I have seen so many people on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook say that when they see Trick and they see him talk and stuff like that as a heel, everybody gets flashbacks to 98 Rock. I remember seeing somebody on YouTube saying it's like The Rock and Booker T did the fusion dance. Like, I think, but what I also saw somebody say is they think they don't know how long Trick is going to be in WWE because a lot of people said just like Rock, he might go to Hollywood early and see if he really wants to be a wrestler or does he want to be like a movie star.
Dude, Trick's also in his early 30s too, so he's got time.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of time. But the thing is, people draw these comparisons to The Rock. No, the comparison I draw with Trick, Ric Flair.
Really? I've
yes.
heard it.
I think, I think Trick would be a better version of Ric Flair than Ric Flair could be of Ric Flair, if that's even possible.
Without the alcohol.
Hey, I don't know if Trick drinks or not. If he don't, good for him, man. If he has an occasional one every now and again, I'm not the judging.
Right, but
he goes home to Last Legend every night. You know who I come home to? My dog, my cat, and my kid. So
I'm just saying, Rick drank like he was a fish out of water. That's all I meant.
he still does.
Touche.
No, he still does. Rick is definitely on that stuff, but you have to remember, Trick has it comes down to character because he does come from a little bit more disciplined background. He had a lot of leaders and men in his life. Not to mention he spent time in the football field and stuff like that, so he learned a little bit more discipline. Although we have seen our fair share of athletes go in the drug route, but I think that Trick is on the right track. But I feel like I had a friend of mine. So before, like a few months ago, before Trick even came to the main roster, a lot of people, including myself, said, "Yeah, Braun Breaker's probably going to eventually be the face of WWE in the future and stuff like that." Seeing how quickly the fans have responded to Trick, I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore.
Yeah, I think the fans kind of put their stamp on who they wanted already.
Yeah, and now it's like I saw people who said, "Yeah, even though he's green in the ring, I think he should be holding a world title before the end of the year." And I saw that, and I'm like, "Oh man!" So
I think it's going to happen. Unfortunately,
you kind of have to. But at the same time, if you're doing this with a company, and you have to look at marketing, you have to look at all this other stuff like that, and the fans are responding to it. I mean, after the whole thing with Jay, regardless of how you feel about him, you made him a world champion because you knew the fans were responding. Everybody was up and stuff like that. You had a couple people online say it, but when you look at the arena, everybody's cheering. With Trick, there's a difference here. Even though he's still very green in the ring, he knows how to talk. He knows how to get the crowd on his side, and he knows how to force a reaction on the crowd. So it's just like him as a champion, it would just be a natural thing. People have picked him. So it's just how are they going to do it? And who are you going to make him go over to do that? Because I'm not going to lie, if you told me by Survivor Series he's going to be world champion, cool. Because what works also with him being green in the ring is the fact that he's a heel. So just with Dominic Mysterio, how Dominic does, people look at Dominic compared to other wrestlers, and like, oh, how could this guy beat him? Because he's going to use underhanded tactics to win. So you can make it more believable where it's like, oh, he should have beat this guy, but because he's going to cheat, yes, he's going to beat this guy. Same thing with Trick. He doesn't look believable, but we can make him cheat, and then he can just be a heel, and then people are just going to eat it up. So they just got to do it like that. I don't know how soon it's going to be. Again, I don't know who they're going to put over, but we'll see. And also, going back to AEW, and we were talking about faces and heels, do you feel that Adam Page is a better face or a better heel?
He's better off my TV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm so tired of the premenstrual cowboy shit. It's like, dude, you're from Virginia. There's no fucking cowboys in Virginia. If there are cowboys in Virginia, it's probably been seen in the movie Brokeback Mountain.
Oh wow.
Just like I've never been, even when he was in Ring of Honor, I was not sold on this guy.
He just can't talk, man. I don't believe anything he says.
To answer your question, I thought him recently, before July, when he was being the heel in the last, prior to them flipping him back, I thought he was a lot more interesting. But yeah, I've never had any connection. I've never thought Hangman was good. I never thought as a character in the ring. There's nothing about Hangman that that makes him appealing to me. But I do think that, when he was doing the heel thing with Swerve, burning Swerve's house down, all that stuff, I thought that was the most character he's shown.
Do you feel like that's where he peaked?
Yeah. And I think if they put the title back on him, it's going to be a big mistake tonight. I think if they put the title on him again, especially how, we've seen an uptick in the metrics with MJF as champion, I think it'd be a big mistake to put it back on Hangman.
So my thing is with my question would be to this. Let's say that MJF retains tonight, right? How long do you think MJF should hold the title for?
Well, he's one way or the other. He loses it by July.
Okay.
Whether he loses it to somebody else prior to All In, or if they do him versus Will Ospreay. Ospreay's winning the title, assuming he's healthy, in July at All In.
Okay.
I thought All In was in August.
Yeah, I thought it was August as well.
Let's just say in the summer.
All right. Well, I know it was July last year, so I thought maybe I'm just thinking that it's July again. But either way,
listen, I'm just saying in terms of how everything's been built up on TV the past month, it makes more sense for Hangman to be the champion than for MJF to. Because maybe Hangman does another transition run to Swerve. Swerve holds it, defends it against Kenny, and then you can either do Swerve and Ospreay or Kenny and Ospreay at All In for the belt, depending on how the Swerve and Kenny thing ends.
Or maybe you can have Swerve do something else. Maybe if you don't want to have him do that, maybe you could give him the unified title or the TNT title or something. Has he held the unified title before, or the Continental, or either one of them? Then have him do that if Tony is so horny to make him a champion again.
I'm watching the pre-show, 0 Hour, and as much as they give WWE crap about showing the celebrities, the very first thing they showed was Wayne Brady sitting in the crowd. Wayne Brady, the let's make a deal, whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, that's it. DJ, remember that Dave Chappelle skit with Wayne Brady?
Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't saw that before, please watch it. Go on YouTube and type in Dave Chappelle, Wayne Brady. It's them two in a car driving around, and it gets pretty crazy. But yeah, I don't think you okay, I understand the whole WWE versus AEW thing, tribalism, yada yada yada. What people have to understand though is what universally makes money. If you have stars there, you've got to highlight the stars and stuff like that and make your stars look like stars and give them the presentation. Like, for example, even though he's not the biggest star, well, he could be in some people's eyes. For a while, I was saying like a guy like Kenny Omega, as even though he goes in and out and he's either injured or he goes to Japan to do some video game stuff or whatever. I was one of those people who thought that Kenny Omega should be presented like how WWE presents Roman Reigns. Like, people in America have naturally gravitated towards Kenny. And yes, I understand there's a lot of the basement dwelling nerds and the people who are super into anime and video games and stuff like that, whatever, but you have a fan base there and people who relate and gravitate to him. So if you're going to do that, and a lot of that is the AEW fans, then just make him your face or one of your faces. Make any, like, for example, any time that MJF and Kenny goes one-on-one, make it the biggest thing. Make it seem like Rock and Stone Cold, or Cena and Roman. Make it huge. You know what I'm saying? And just do it like that. You have to build on your stars, and then again with the up and coming stars, like a Kyle Fletcher, what's my man Jet, the black dude who just signed with them,
Kevin Knight.
Yeah, him. Have what Knight could do is have him and make him and Kyle Fletcher build their rivalry early. If Kevin Knight is going to be here for the future for a long time, so you can establish it. They both have a look. They both have a lot of potential. Have them do an early feud now, so that later on in their future, when they compete for the AEW championship, it feels more authentic and it feels more genuine of being like, oh, we remember this now. Now this is the main show. It's little things, man, that they could do to make things feel more major. But I don't know. I don't know with Tony's booking. Sometimes it can be good, but other times it's just like, what are we doing here? But then again, wrestling booking in general lately has been bad
This is true.
across all companies. Well, at least the two big ones. I'm not going to talk about TNA because so
Oh. DJ, you got anything else?
No, I'm all good. I've actually been distracted.
And Hub, you got something?
I got shit.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. We appreciate everyone watching live, our biggest live audience yet. And we will be back next Sunday. Sean, thank you for popping in. First time I've had a conversation with you, so welcome. We're here every Sunday. Please join us again.
No doubt.
And everyone have a great night.